Hey there, folks. I bet you thought I was done with the SIG pistols. And I'm done with SIG as a company, I have to say. But something interesting has come in. And I think this is news. I think we'll call it news. So I'll tell you what we've got going on here. And then we'll go into your comments on the video where I said I'm done with SIG. All right. So from the SIG Armorer, I received some messages on Instagram today. Now, if you are not familiar with Sig Armor, he's one of the guys, I think you'd call it garage industry, like one of the, I don't know that he makes stuff in his garage, but a small businessman, makes parts for the SIGs. One of his parts I have, that is the different disconnector for the SIG 320, which mitigates, I think, the out of battery detonation issue. You can definitely tell after it's installed there is a difference in where the trigger disconnects as you move the gun out of battery. So with that, like the one experience I have with a Sig Armor product, like I like it. It's good, and it was interesting to hear from him. Effectively, what's going to be coming, he says, we're ready to make our public statement, most likely Monday of this coming week, so next week, maybe. Like, hopefully, this happens. This sounds fun. He's going to be explaining in detail what's going on with the pistols, what he thinks, and he has a parts kit that he says fixes the problem of the uncommanded discharges. Um, he doesn't want me to reveal details exactly what's going to change. He's going to leave that to, I don't know, to his announcement and the parts kit. But maybe the guns will get fixed as a result of this. Now, of course, this should be SIG doing this, not some other dude, some Yahoo. But it is what it is. Um, yeah, he's confirmed, pre-announced it if you like. Just don't mention the thing being right. Yeah, okay, good. So anyway, he's got something coming, and it should be interesting. He sent me a patent as well. If you get bored, search this patent. Oh, I think somebody already sent me that patent. It is an interesting read. Um, okay, now you guys know my opinion. I'm not going to be buying any more Sig products. Um, unless something dramatic happens, which I don't think is going to happen. So let's go through your comments, see what you guys had to say. Now, the video where I said I'm done with SIG, that generated a lot of comments, almost a couple thousand. We'll sort them by order of likes and see what you guys had to say about it. Top comment on there, SIG took it from one gun that you can't trust to an entire company that you can't trust. And I think that's what they did. I'm at the point where I'm like, I mean, I hear different things about different SIG products, like, oh, guys are complaining about this scope or this other stuff I don't have any experience with. Because SIG has all these different contracts for military and government. They've got contracts all over the place now. And now when I start hearing like negative stuff about some product that gets sent to people, I'm just like, it doesn't really surprise me. It doesn't at this point. The reply to that, the top reply, coincidentally. That's pretty good. There are a lot of people blaming the CEO of SIG for this stuff. All right. Next comment. For the guy who said, I don't know why people care about this. Yeah, I don't get why people don't find this interesting. It's pretty interesting. The 320 is supposed to replace the Beretta M9 in the military. It doesn't bother you that your tax money is being used to buy defective weapons that will probably injure our service members, not to mention the police departments that use the 320. It's just like, um, I think I think the government wastes money on a lot of defective crap that hurts people it's not supposed to. But yes, point taken. Not too great. Um, to be doing that. Ben, it ends today. Steger, yes, I'm done with SIG. NDs today, mother effers. I'm at least done with buying their stuff. I'm still going to make fun of them, of course. The CEO of SIG is the guy who destroyed Kimber's reputation. Yeah, that's what they say. All right. Taurus issued a recall when they found out the GX3 and GX4 was unsafe. Fucking Taurus can now accurately claim to be more ethical a company than SIG. I don't think being a more ethical company than SIG is a very heavy lift at this point. All right. Another comment, the vet bro influencer culture needs to come to an end. It's cringy, performative, and long past its expiration date. Yeah, I mean, that's not something that's ever really appealed to me, but the whole thing, I've always thought it's kind of weird. Like, for example, the GBRS video where they were talking about the SIG stuff, like, forget the substance of what they were talking about. But you just see, like, these guys are like, oh, can you gonna ban the SIG off the flat range? Like, that's, like, why are you calling it a flat range? Like, what do you have these weird terms? Like, it's weird to me because when I go and I'm around like military on military type jobs or military training, like nobody talks like that. Nobody. But then you see these guys on Instagram who were in the military talk, and I'm like, these guys talk weird. The guys from the like what? What's going on? It is. It's a weird thing. It's like it is performative. Um, I'm happy you guys had a good time in the military, or maybe you didn't have a good time, in which case I'm happy you got out or whatever. It's a weird thing that it's like this clicky subculture that's kind of like not even really real. Like it doesn't seem, it's like I don't see people that are in the military now that they just don't have the same speech patterns or attitudes. It's very strange. Okay, if the DoD is actually investigating the P-320s firing unintentionally and confirms they do, police departments should ban them also immediately. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, no, reply on that. They need to investigate if there were bribes. Yeah, I think if you look at the SIG situation, like the 30,000-foot view, not just the 320, but you know, it just seems like very, very quickly they took over all these kind of products and contracts. Maybe there's some shenanigans going on there. Who knows? All right. Yep, I'm with you. SIG lacks integrity. No more SIGs for me. Yeah, and it's kind of like why give money to people that hate you, effectively? Like they hate you. Um, all right, let's keep going. It's suspicious, in quotes, he's saying it's suspicious that people have thousands around through several 320s and have never had an issue. That's the quotes that this comment's going to respond to. I don't find that suspicious. I think there's going to be like good examples of pretty much any gun, even if it's the worst gun ever. There's still going to be good ones out there. All right. I know a lot of people who own Toyotas and have put hundreds of thousands of miles on them. None of them had their airbag randomly go off while driving, but there still are over 400 people who were injured and 27 who died, and Toyota is finally owning it. Yes. No rational person is upset that a company had a fuck up and it lead to unexpected consequences. They're upset because the company and their shills seem hell bent on gaslighting the consumers and victims into thinking they're imagining things so they can save face and their bottom line. Yeah, this is a great post. Great post so far. I'm going to click like on this and I'll give it a little hearty. All right. Imagine knowing without the shadow of a doubt that your pistol of any brand went off on its own and cost you your career, freedom, or someone's life, and the powers that be fiercely telling you that you're the liar. Like, yeah, that would be frustrating, is not even, it'd be beyond frustrating. It'd be crazy. All while quietly changing the wording in safety manuals, releasing press releases calling you anti gun liberals, and continue to tell you that you are somehow to blame. Yes. Yes. You want to look for suspicious activity or evidence, that's fucking suspicious. Not that someone could shoot a few thousand rounds um, and didn't have any problems. Like, yeah, it is. It is like the behavior from SIG is so frustrating where you're just saying, like, why would I want to buy stuff from these people? They're going to like they're not being truthful about this. It's kind of a high consequence thing. It's a low probability but high consequence thing. There's it seems shady, their communications about it. You have their paid influencers, which I mean, I've been hearing back channel, I've been hearing a lot about that from multiple sources, including specific numbers about how much GBRS is getting paid. Like very interesting. Um, I think that's an FTC thing. I don't think you're allowed to do that and not say that it's a paid advertisement. In any event, yeah, SIG seems shady as fuck, and that's I mean, apart from the quality of their guns or lack of quality or whatever, like I don't want to buy stuff from SIG. All right, another day of Benno, another one of Ben's P320 videos. No complaints. Yeah, we're having fun here, guys. Isn't this? This is what the internet is for having a good time, for doing drama and talking about it in like crazy situations like this. Oh. GBRS is gay boys riding SIG. Yeah, you may be right about that. I was done with SIG when I bought a SIG 5.56 rifle for $1,800, and it was a lemon, and customer service treated me like dirt. It was never fixed, never replaced, and had to sell it for a huge loss. They claimed I could not shoot well. That's why it was getting 23-inch groups at 50 yards. Well, that doesn't sound like a very good group, in fairness, sir. That doesn't sound good. Maybe you can't shoot well. Then after they looked at it, they said the barrel was bad. Yeah, no shit. It was replaced. They had 7 other issues, including the major. Yeah, okay. So you're done with SIG, buddy. And I feel you on that. Seeing how SIG does business and how shady their business practices are, the blatant use of lawfare tactics to dismiss legal cases and gaslighting the industry to deflect criticism, and the P320 having issues that it has, I've decided I won't carry my P320 anymore or buy a SIG product. If this is the way they treat their customers in the public eyes, I'm not going to stick around for what happens in the future. Yeah, yeah, dude, fair enough. I mean, that's how I feel about it too. Where I mean, it gets to the point where it's like I shoot these guns for fun and having a good time, and the 320 is like one of the big platforms out there, and I'm at the point like I don't want to buy any more of these fucking things. I just don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't want to prop up these idiots at SIG. All right, I made the decision to never buy SIG again earlier this year. All 3 SIG pistols I've had experience on needed to go back for warranty work. It was 2 365s and a 320, by the way. Then my $700 SIG Romeo 8T sight, well, those sights are so much money, and failed after 100-ish rounds of 223. Great. I sent it in and they sent it back saying it was fine and they couldn't replicate any issues. The reticle disappears every time the rifle is fired. Oh my God. Oh my God, they didn't even put it on a gun and shoot it. Okay. I sent it back once again, dealt with them giving me different excuses every week for 2 months why they never sent me a new red dot until eventually they did. Between them sending me back my defective optic the first time and them holding on to it for 2 months the second time, my new rifle had no optic for 3 months, which is unacceptable. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen similar stuff from the SIG optics where, I mean, they're a lot of money. I get it. You look at it on the surface, it looks really high quality. Like, wow, this is really nice glass and all that. But the longevity is terrible that I've seen with SIG optics. Doesn't make much sense to get them. All right. I'll literally not buy anything from SIG at this point. Their decision to not do a massive recall and blame the community is wild to me. It is wild. It is. And it's I don't want to. It's not quite generational, but it's a little bit of a cultural thing where people that like not on the internet, oh, they don't understand how this stuff plays on the internet. Where people just look at it and be like, well, what's their explanation for this, that, or the other thing? You look at it, you're like, yeah, they're full of shit, or like, I'm just not buying it, and it just spreads like wildfire, and people start making memes. And Sig's behavior has been very memeable lately. Like, it's not going good for them. I was a big fan of the old SIG when it was a German and Swiss company. Yes, the Germans, they're very precise. Back in the day, a true gold standard in firearms design and quality. Then it becomes American-owned Sig Sauer in 2007, run by Ron Cohen, same person that some allege totally destroyed Kimber's quality control and reputation. I decided at that point I'd be highly skeptical of the new Sig and that I'd hold off on buying Cohen Sigs. Then the goofy rainbow finish guns came along. Hey, I own one of those, by the way, but in fairness, I have it as a gag. And allegations of bad quality control soon followed as well. Then the revamped SIG 250, aka 320, came out. I was made fun of on some gun boards for questioning why SIG didn't design the 320 from the ground up. They basically slapped a striker system into a TDA frame. I also remember distinctly saying I didn't think it was a good idea to carry the gun AIWB due to its fully tensioned striker design and lack of trigger safety. I was made fun of again. Yeah, like the trigger safety to me just seems like a good idea, honestly. I added one to my 320. I feel strongly about them. Well, fast forward to now, man, do I feel validated. So yeah, I'll be extending my no coincides policy for the foreseeable future. As you should, sir. You should feel validated. I'm for banning them on ranges. I think he means 320s and gun shops refusing to sell them. Just like, yeah, I mean, at this point, if a 320 or is like 320s are banned by your range, I mean, you can you even really be mad? Like, I don't know. It'd be hard to be mad about that if it was like for me. Uh, Sig has Sig definitely has an avid following that's willing to defend anything they do. Yeah, of course, but who cares? I recently bought a lightly used 226 Pro Cut and had feeding issues with it. I went on one of the SIG forums to see if I could find anything helpful, but most of the posts ended up with a small number of high post count posters telling OPs to send it back to SIG or that it was user error. Like, yeah, okay. One of the things I noticed in the photos was how many feed ramps had gouges on the sides in the exact same place. I did some of my own testing and realized that by pushing on the barrel hood when reassembling the side to frame, it's possible to push the feed ramp below the locking plate. Okay, yeah, so you understand. All right, they banned me over 15 years ago. SIG forum is run by a Karen-like troll. Who the fuck are you guys using forums still? What is this? Who the hell uses forums? I have so many SIGs, it kills me to see the SIG becoming a dumpster fire. But in my opinion, this is a good take. The decision to defend the 320 came from a few folks at the top who lack integrity. Yeah, and then of course you have a few shills down at the bottom who also lack integrity, right? I've said this before, I've said it a lot of times. Coming from the competitive shooting world, I know this. Like, people will suck dick for a squib rod. Almost literally. I mean, just the appearance of being sponsored, people love that. So, I mean, if you're actually giving people a little bit of cash money or free guns, you're going to find people that'll say whatever you want, for sure. All right, when SIG blamed us and called us anti-gun, I do remember that, and they called me an engagement hacking grifter, which, thanks for noticing for one, but for two, that's not very nice. Okay, I decided I would never buy anything SIG until there's new leadership and they make changes. Yeah, that's a very fair take. That's very fair. I have 5 SIGs, 2 320s, a 365, and 2 226s. I don't carry my P320s anymore, and I'm disappointed by the company's response to this entire conversation. And I don't really have any other plans to invest more into the SIG platforms. I do have still confidence in the P365 to in the waistband carry based on engineers walking through how the P365 is inherently safer than the 320. If I do want to carry something larger, I can always use my 226s, okay? Don't really feel the need for more guns at this point. I just want to shoot what I have well. Yeah, that's fine. And hey, man, I like 226s. I'm still not going to buy another one, but I like the ones I have. United States Marine Corps has done a review on the M18. They are instructing Marines to carry their M18 in condition 3, unloaded with the mag in the pistol. If true, that's pretty funny. I mean, it sucks for them if they have to like go do a war in that situation. That seems stupid, but it's a little bit funny at the moment. Okay. The U.S. was sold out by retired General Scott Miller. He got a cush job at SIG for government contracts. Sorry, products in the U.S. inventory. Stay safe around these weapons. Yes, this is the type of conspiracy shit that I'm here for. Yes, let's name the names of the people. But yes, there's probably a few people where you're like, well, how did that guy get that job? And like, well, what's up with all these contracts? And it's like, oh, it'd be great to know more about that. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that stuff. Okay, GBRS are fluid transfer specialists, so it's not a surprise they would make that video. I don't know what that means, but it sounded vaguely sexual, so I'm here for it. All right, I've always thought things were strange since they won the military contracts, then suddenly all these high-speed spec ops guys suddenly switched from Glock to SIG like it was God's gift. I had a 365 that I carried for a few months that rusted like crazy, just sitting in the holster. Then all the safety issues sealed the deal. I've also always thought it was, what do these new futuristic modular guns do better than a Glock? Nothing. I could give two shits about taking the trigger out. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a pretty good look at the comments on the channel sorted by how many people click like on them. As you can see, I don't think I'm really alone just being like, man, fuck, I'm not buying anything else from SIG. I do hope that Sig Armorer fixes the issue so people can at least carry the stuff. Both the gun is safe and people feel safe. Those are both good things. Um, we'll see. Like that's the type of product and update that should be coming from Sig directly. I'm not sure that it will. I I would be shocked if it did at this point, but hopefully that fixes things for people that want to continue on the 320 path. And yeah, like I said, I'm done buying that shit. If there's any interesting news or other things happening, of course I'll talk about it. But at this point, I don't think there's much else for me to say about Sig. Fuck them.